So what we're going to be doing in this stream is we're going to be using a mod called Chisels and Bits. It's a mod that I only found out about fairly recently, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So we're playing in creative. We're just going to be playing with this really in this session, and I've marked out a space over yonder for us to sort of build a pretty cool looking mansion style house. I think that's what I'm thinking anyway. We'll see what everybody thinks. Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Thanks for asking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the stuff together for this mod, for what we need to actually make these kind of blocks. So first of all, we need to get ourselves a chisel. There are a few different tiers, but we'll go with the diamond chisel. Basically because, you know, we're playing in creative anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but the different materials do correspond to what blocks you can break as well, so we might as well use a diamond. And we've got a few other little bits here, but we'll get into those a little bit later on. And down here we've got all the different bits that you can use. And if I press shift as well, you can see here, if I go up to the top, you can see all the vanilla blocks here. If I let go, then you can see all the bits again. So these are all the vanilla blocks, and then down below, these are all just plain blank blocks, basically. This is from another mod by the same author, and these are intended for, I guess, sort of making your own textures out of bits. So I will show you when we get into this how that works. I can't say I'm going to be particularly good at it, at making my own sort of textures, but we'll work with what we've got here for now, and and we'll see what we can do when we get further into this. You'll notice as well you can actually chisel out lava and water as well, which is pretty cool. There's a few other little bits as well that we'll get into. So let's see here. So what we're gonna do first of all is we're gonna go around this village here, and we're gonna add a bunch of depth and texture to all the existing vanilla textures, and we're gonna make it pop a little bit more and just see what it looks like. Really, I'm just intrigued to see, you know, what we could do here. You know, it was. I think it'd be best just to start off with vanilla textures, and then we can copy and paste some of it as well. So it should work pretty well doing it this way. So first of all, to kind of get started, and do let me know, by the way, if my microphone is too quiet or anything like that, or if the game volume's too loud. Hi there, Jeffrey. How you doing? So we're just going to get started here, chiseling out some of this wood. I think we'll start with, and yeah, let's just. So basically, what you do is you just get this chisel in your hand. I don't know. Again, if any of you guys have used this mod, I'd be interested to know. And you know, if you've got anything as well, you can share that you've created using this mod. I'd be pretty interested to see that. But yeah, I mean, it's called Chisels and Bits. If any of you guys have played modded Minecraft before, you may actually know another mod by the same creator. He made a mod called I actually forget the name now I'm mentioning it. It's basically a mod where you can store loads of stuff in hard drives, basically, and you can store thousands and thousands and thousands of items in, say, a one block space. You have to power it using other mods and things like that. Yeah, it's by the same guy who did that. I'm just going to actually look that up now. I can't quite remember the name of it. Yeah, I'm well, thanks, Jeffrey. Thanks for asking. Okay. So we're just going to get into this anyway. I'm struggling to find the name of that mod right now. It'll come to me at some point in this live stream. I've got equivalent exchange in my head for some reason, but it's definitely not that mod. But yeah, we'll get into this. So just want to have a look at sort of chopping up this wood. And basically what you can do is once you've got the chisel, you just left click. And you see how it just chisels out 1 pixel basically of this texture. So the textures in Minecraft, I think they're about 24 by 24. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it's just going to chisel out basically 1 pixel of the texture. And there you go. So it just kind of adds a little bit of depth, I think, because the way I imagine it, if it was if this wooden planks, you know, if it was a block in real life, then you know it's going to have these planks, and then I would imagine these darker lines are supposed to be dips in between where the planks connect together. So let's just kind of, and then see how I've actually done it wrong there. And the cool thing about this mod is you can actually undo as well. So you can bind it on your keyboard. I've got it set to U, so you just press U, and you can undo it, which is pretty cool. So we're just gonna carry on doing this here. And we'll do this last line. I think this is the last line in this block. There's one at the bottom as well. We'll do that. And then I'm going to show you what we can do with that once we've just done 1 block here. So we'll go further down and do this one. There we go. And just to add a bit more variety to it, we're going to poke in these ones as well. There you go. Awesome. And oh, and these 2 as well. Cool. So now that we've done that one, what we can actually do here is we can use these chisel designs to basically copy and paste different kinds of designs. So what we're going to use for this design, because basically all we've done here is chiseled out some of an existing block in the world. What we're going to do is we'll use a negative chisel design. So we'll right click on this block here, and that's now actually written that chisel pattern that we've done just to this side of this block here. So obviously nothing has been done inside on the same block. So what we can actually do now that we've copied that over is we can just right click on, in fact, before we do that we need to hold down Alt. Bear with me. In fact, no, we don't need to hold down Alt. So what we need to do then is we just right click on that block, and you can see that it's just copied it over. It's pretty awesome. And if you were playing this in survival Minecraft, then basically how this would work is each of those little bits that you've chiseled out there, they would go into your inventory, into your survival inventory here. And what then you would need to do, if you wanted to copy that over, you would need to have either, well, obviously you'd have this same block placed, I would imagine, but if you were copying over a design where you were adding, then you would need to have the bits in your inventory to kind of do that. So you can't just copy and paste all over the place and it's totally imbalanced, because it doesn't work like that. You've got to have it in your inventory to actually copy it over there. So yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Have either of you two played, or anyone else who's watching played any mods in Minecraft before? So we're just going to continue copying this over here, and it's starting to look pretty cool. Like, it adds an extra element of 3D-ness to the texture. It looks so cool, I think. And then we can actually go, and I believe we can just sort of click on this side as well. No, sorry, you hold down Shift, I believe, and then use the mouse wheel. And you see how it changes there. You might just be able to see that on the stream, but when you rotate the mouse wheel, you can rotate the block essentially in your hand, And I think I did it on the inside there, yeah. So there you go, it's on the inside as well as the outside there. And we'll do that again. See if we can get the rotation right. There we go. So we've got it on all visible 3 sides of that block there. And then we can just kind of go, and I did it on I did it on that side by accident, so now you can kind of see down, you can actually see down the edge of the block. I don't know if you guys can see that well. Just gonna place down a block here just so you can kind of you can see through there now. Pretty cool, but we're gonna undo that. Okay, cool. So we'll finish off putting down these planks actually. And it's kind of hard to see the rotation when you're putting it on the same block as, well, as what's already there essentially. So there we go. And let's see if we can do it on the bottom side of this. I've not tried that yet. So if we rotate it like, I think it's actually it'll only rotate it around a circle, so it will only do it on the outsides rather than the top and the bottom. Yeah. So we'll have to actually do the bottom of this texture again manually, but yeah, still pretty cool. It saves a lot of time. If you're doing this manually on each block, it would take absolutely forever. So we'll do it on the inside of this one. Boom, 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 boom. And then we'll rotate it around again. In fact, we don't need to rotate it when we're now facing in that direction. So check that out, see how quick that was. And then we're going to rotate it around and do... We're going to do this side. Boom. And over here. Awesome. Look how cool that looks like, especially around the window as well. Sweet. Okay, cool. So, do this back wall as well. Oh, so you just purely play Pocket Edition. That's pretty cool. What are you playing that on? Are you playing that on a tablet or on a phone? So is there any reason you've not installed Forge, Jeffrey? It's pretty easy to do these days, actually. All you need to do, they actually have an installer that you download with the file. And yeah, it's pretty easy. Back in the day, it used to be a little bit more fiddly to do, but it's pretty easy now. Okay, on a tablet, cool. I've actually tried playing it on my iPhone. I've got an iPhone 5S, and I found it pretty difficult, to be honest, on the 5S because my fingers just get in the way of everything, really. So it's not that great, but I imagine it's better on a tablet. I've not tried it on a tablet. Okay, so we're just going to finish off these wood planks here. Rotate this round. So I don't know if I mentioned, actually, you hold shift and use the mouse wheel to rotate it. I probably have mentioned that. I'm just forgetting what I'm saying already. But yeah, shift and the mouse wheel, and you notice as well that the block changes to, well, it's supposed to change to the block that you're actually affecting when you hold shift, but it's showing up as a stone block in my hand for some reason. I'm really not sure why. Potentially just because we've only chiseled out of a block rather than we're not actually placing anything, if you see what I mean. We're just kind of placing down air, so I guess that's why stone's showing up there. But once we get into placing the bits down, you'll see how that works. Okay, cool. So, just going to do the outside walls now. Oh, awesome. We've actually got a couple of new subscribers. Fantastic. So if you're watching and you've just subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Okay, sweet. Making some progress here. And there we go. And, oops. Sweet, okay. Awesome. So what we're going to do now is we'll just do the underside of the blocks. Like I said, I don't think you can actually rotate it round so it goes onto the bottom. As you can actually see it quite well here. You can see it only rotates around the edges. If you just look around the edge of the block, you can see where it changes. So we're going to have to do the bottom of these blocks. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool so far. What do you guys think? And I've not even done this side. I thought I'd done it. So there we go. Awesome stuff. Cool, and this is only just scratching the surface as well, by the way. We've got so much more to get into as this goes on. It's crazy what you can do with this mod. Okay. Cool, so we will do underneath here now. We'll do this block in the corner to start with. Plop, 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 plop. You can actually see it kind of changes the lighting a little bit as well. I'm not sure if that's intended or not, to be honest, because yeah, I think it's kind of letting some of the light through from outside when it should be blocking it. I'm not exactly sure if that's the intended behavior, like I say. But in fact, what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to undo this. Did you see how the lighting changed there? But what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to just come outside here and we'll do this outside, and just so we can see a little bit better what's going on here. So I'll just place this down like this and do that. Okay, lovely. Yeah, it definitely does make it look more realistic. It does. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen out there. There is an ultra realistic graphics mod for Minecraft, something like that anyway. And yeah, the textures kind of look like this. They have a lot more layers to them, and yeah, it just really helps bring out that sort of the depth and detail that you would get from you know, a much more high fidelity kind of game rather than just sort of 24 by 24 pixels. Okay, so let's get on with the bottom of this. And it's just so cool to see him disappear as well. It's kind of disorientating actually doing it from underneath like this. And there we go. On doors or fences, I actually tried that earlier on. I don't think you can do it on doors, unfortunately. I mean, it just breaks it when I'm in creative like that. Let's see. So if I put a door back, what I'll do is I'll actually, I mean, I don't know if this is just because I'm in creative that it's breaking the door when I do it. In fact, let's see if I shift. No, okay. Let's see if I actually switch over to survival. Let's see if it works there. That was creative again. There we go. No. No, it doesn't seem to work on doors, unfortunately. But I do actually have some ideas for kind of, I guess, faking doors, which you'll see. You'll see if you stick around later on once we start building up the big house there. I've got a cool idea for doing some doors. And in terms of doing it on fences, you can't do it on fences either. But what you can do, I mean, you don't necessarily need to be able to do it on fences in this mod because of the other tools that it offers you. So, for example, if I place down we'll do it a little bit more out in the open here. So, go over here. And if we place down an oak wood plank like this, then if we get the chisel, what you can do is you can actually see how it's, you see the bounding box there, there's a small cube, so that's actually a single bit that you can chisel out here. So if I hold Alt on the keyboard, it brings up this this circular menu here, this radial menu, and you can see here single bit. So that's what we're actually on right now. But then what you can also do is you can actually change it to a line, a plane, and then there's other bits you can do here as well. So what you can actually do here is you can say, for instance, you wanted to look at sort of making a fancy fence post of some description. What you could do is you could go for, say, a medium cube here, and then you can actually do it with, you can take out chunks this big instead. So if you take out, say, let's see here, just going to undo a bit there. And you can see how it doesn't actually snap to different regions. It lets you do it almost anywhere, which is kind of cool. But you can actually change it so it goes to a grid snapped cube as well, which is what I want here. So we're going to go for a grid snapped quarter size cube. So then we can stay on the grid, which makes things a bit easier in this instance, just for me to show you how to do this here. And then you do this. Get rid of all the other bits and bobs. I've actually done a bit too much there, so I'm just going to get rid of that. And you can see there how I've got basically just a single fence post, or it looks like a fence post anyway, from a wooden plank. So then what you can do is you could say switch to a smaller cube, like an 8th size cube there, and then you can kind of come into this fence post here, and you can, I mean, you can do whatever you want, really. I mean, I'm just chipping out blocks here, kind of willy-nilly. But you can certainly you can do whatever you want with that space. And I mean, because I'm in survival here, it's not actually giving me any of the bits in my inventory. But what you can do is, if I switch myself over to survival here, if I start breaking the blocks, will the cracks show? You'll see what happens here, actually. You'll be able to see. So if I just break a block normally like this, in fact, I'm just gonna get an axe, and I forgot I've just put myself in survival. We'll just go in here and just turn cheat mode on, and that's still not working for some reason. Okay, so we'll just break it with our fist, and there you go. So it just kind of gives you back whatever you've done in like a grid, in the normal Minecraft grid. So in kind of a block area, and then you can just place it back down. But like I said, because I was in survival, because I was in creative rather, it wasn't giving me the little bits. So you'll see what happens here. I can actually take away a couple of bits here. So I've taken away 4 bits, and you can see here it's actually given me 32 for some reason. I'm not sure exactly the reasoning behind that. Perhaps it's because we actually destroyed the rest of this block and it's just updated because we've switched into survival now. But it gives me 32 of those. So I can actually go around and I can place those. I can place those however I want. But what I can also do is I can also go back to the chisel here. I can hold Alt again. And I can sort of take away different shapes if you like. So I can do a line if you want. So we can do a line here, and if you it kind of snaps to whichever side of the block that you're facing. So if I'm aiming at the top of the block or of the bit, then it'll go vertically down. Or if I'm aiming at the side, it'll go it'll go horizontally across. So click there, and you can see it all goes back into the same pile. But then when it comes to actually placing them down, I believe what you can do here is, what I wanted to actually show you is you hold the Alt menu down again while you're on the bit that you want to place down. Hope this is making sense, by the way. Please feel free to ask me any questions. You can actually you can change on to, say, a line, and then you can actually let's see here. So at the moment it looks like it's on, let's see, bear with me one moment. Okay, so it seems to be on replace at the moment, I think. But if we place one down, oh no, there you go. So, yeah, now that I've selected line, it'll place down a line, like so. And then, I mean, I hope you can see here the amount of possibilities that you have with this. So, you know, if I wanted to, I could then place a line across, like, not like that. I'll get that line back. In fact, that's going to take all of those away because they're all within the same block space, remember? And then what I can do here is I'll switch back to a single bit, and I can go right click, right click, right click, right click, and then right click, right click, and then there you go. You can create sort of things as, you know, as small and as detailed as that. And yeah, I mean, there's so much that you can do with it. And I mean, just to expand on that a bit more while we're on the subject, say if I place down a block like so, I can go into this chisel again, and I'll show you the other kinds of chiseling that you can do. Let's have a look. Yeah, so you can select a plane, and that will take away a whole side, so like that. And as you can see, my inventory is getting very full with these bits. And you can do the same over this side, and it's just going to take loads of bits. So there you go. And what you could also do as well is, I'm just going to save this time. I did it wrong before. And you can actually get a chiseled bit bag. If you're playing this in survival and you don't want to drop, or you don't want your inventory to fill up with all these bits, because it's going to fill up pretty quickly. That was just sort of, that was more or less half a block, just over what we've got there in little bits. You can get a chiseled bit bag, and that's made by some wool and then a chiseled bit in the middle. And then what you can actually do is you can open this up, and it's got tons of storage, so I can put all this stuff in there, and you can see how 512 of those bits are going into the bag. Oh, sorry, going into each stack in the bag. So I've got 512, 512, 512, 256. They're all the bits. And then if I carry on here, if I carry on chiseling away, they're now going straight in the bit bag, which is pretty cool. And you can also see there's a bar along the bottom as well that shows you how full it is. Again, really, really nice little feature. So, yeah, really, really cool. And like I say, there's a few other little ways that you can affect things by using the chisel here. But we'll come back to that shortly. What I want to do now is we'll carry on with the village over here, and we will see what we can do. But yeah, I agree. I agree, Jeffrey. It's massive. It's massive. And I mean, the guy who made this mod, like I say, he made another mod as well, which is a really, really good mod. And I still can't remember the name of it. Oh, there we go. It's called Applied Energistics. I don't know if any of you guys have, like I say, used that mod, but it's the same creator who made that mod, and that is a huge mod as well. It's just super cool. Once you use it, if you ever play modded Minecraft where you have absolutely tons and tons and tons of items, then yeah, you'll really appreciate that mod. It's good to use, especially in modded Minecraft. So we're going to finish off doing this block here, and I'm actually going to set the time today. There we go. And we'll just finish off the bottom side here. And the little chisel bits now, you'll see they're actually going into my bit bag. I don't really need that, to be honest, because we are doing this in creative. So I'm going to switch back to creative. I think I've done a little bit too much there, so I'm actually going to just put a bit back in there. Can't quite tell from underneath now. Okay, and let's see. There we go. Cool. Awesome. There we go. Awesome stuff. So that's the whole of the bottom of that block done. I think what we can actually do now is we can actually rotate that up onto the top half. So, yeah, should make things nice and quick for us now. So what we're going to do is we'll go back on here. We'll get the negative chisel design. And we'll right click again on the bottom here. And then what we should be able to do is we should just be able to place it down on the top here. Ah, okay. No, it doesn't work. It will only actually... Oh, you can see there, it's only rotating it actually around... Yeah, so it's only rotating it around on the bottom only. Ah, okay, I didn't know that. So the top and the bottom of each block have to be done kind of independently. So, I mean, that's nothing major. So we'll go in here and we'll just go boom, 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 boom. And... I've done those all, I think I've done those all the wrong way. Or at least I've done the middle ones the wrong way. So we'll just undo that there like that. And in fact, we'll just start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. So what we're going to do now is we'll leave the roof for now because we've done a load of the wooden planks already. So we'll get to work and do a bit on the cobblestone. Just have a drink of my tea there. Okay. So again, you know, if you kind of stand a little bit back from the cobblestone, if you're really close to it, you can't. It's a bit more difficult to see, but if you stand back, obviously it's a cobblestone texture, so you can see the cobblestones, should I say, rather, quite well from way back here. So what I want to do on this is we kind of just want to take away, similar to we did last time, is just take away the darker bits, and we can kind of bring out those individual cobbles. Awesome. Cool. You see as well, I mean, the mod creator's done such a good job on this, because there is, when you chisel out the little bits, the lighting updates so that it kind of creates a bit more of a shadow as well inside there. So if I get rid of more of these around here, you can see how it becomes less and less sort of a deep shadow. But if I undo it again, you can see there how it's much more apparent, the difference in lighting. And I don't know if you actually noticed just there as well, if you're playing this in survival, again, it doesn't really matter for creative, but if you're playing this in survival, then if you've got a bit, like a chiseled bit in your hand, you don't even have to have the actual chisel, as long as the chisel's in your inventory somewhere. So if I put this up here, then you can still chisel them away, which is awesome as well. Sweet. Okay, so let's carry on and do this here. Kind of keep having to take a step back just to see if I'm actually doing it in the right place. And what I'm doing here is I'm not getting rid of all of the darker bits, because if I did that, it'd kind of lose the three-dimensionality, I think, anyway. So I'm going to just kind of do it in places where I think that it's going to have the most kind of impact on the overall texture. Okay. What do you guys think so far? I think I've actually gone over a little bit here, but that's not a problem. So I think that is about okay for the cobblestone. Yeah, I think that it's about right. Just trying to look at a few different angles here, because if you're looking straight on, it's a bit more difficult to see on the cobblestone. I think we're just going to go for it. Let's just get another one of these patterns on the go. And we'll copy that. Nice. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Yeah. I like it. I mean, it does actually make it look a lot more kind of like, you know, what cobblestone would look like in a 3D kind of render, I guess. Nice. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, that actually looks really good. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to get a torch and see if we can create some more kind of directional light here. Yeah. That looks pretty sweet. Yeah, it's definitely very vanilla friendly, is this mod. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have it in the game. It's kind of like, it's almost like micro Minecraft, you know? So you're kind of taking like the next step down in terms of the size of the blocks that you're using. Okay, so yeah, I just finish it off on the front here. I think I was just using the wrong pattern there. I don't think that's a problem though. There we go. And there we go. Lovely. Awesome. So what I wanted to try and do as well is, I've not actually tried this yet, but what I wanted to do was actually try and achieve that effect on the stairs as well. And I do wonder if you can actually create a less blocky stair, if you know what I mean. So let's see if we can do that right now. I think we're actually going to have to go back into survival to do this, I think. But yeah, let's see how this goes. So we'll give ourselves a bit of cobble. Because if you were wondering why I'm doing this, by the way, is that you actually can't chisel away the stairs. You can only chisel away full blocks, if that makes sense. So, you know, full blocks like this, or this, or this. And like I said earlier on as well, you can even chisel away water blocks, which is cool. And that brings a whole new kind of possibilities into what you can do in your Minecraft house in terms of sort of kitchens and things like that, and even toilets. So okay, right, so we'll put some cobblestone down there, and we'll get our diamond chisel, and we'll start by getting a large cube. And let's see here. So I think we actually want, if we got a large cube and we went like that and like that, then we have, that's pretty much a normal stair. I think that's almost exactly the same as a normal stair. In fact, it's actually just a little bit bigger than this. The solid bit's actually just a little bit bigger, I think. I'm just struggling to actually see, but yeah. So it looks pretty similar to a stair anyway. But what I was thinking we could potentially do here is we can make a little bit more of a gradual step up onto the top here. So let's see. We'll get the grid snapped one on the go for this. And let's see. We'll go a bit bigger. Ah, okay. So if I do that, then that's a normal stair. There we go. That was a different size. That was the quarter cube. No, the half cube, sorry. So the half cube will take it down, so it looks exactly like a normal stair. But what I think we could do here is, if we do a quarter cube there, and then we get an 8th size cube, or maybe even a quarter size cube, not a half size cube, sorry. And then we take away this, and then this. Now that is looking pretty damn cool, actually. See if we can actually walk up it. Yeah. Nice. That is sweet. I'm loving that. Okay. So, let's see. Hi there, Radio Club Off. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? But yeah, I think it definitely does add an element of realism, Hexagonian. Yeah, it definitely does add a little bit more realism to the game, but at the same time, you know, it still keeps the kind of the blockiness. But yeah, I mean, I personally don't think it would be something that would ever be added into the vanilla game, but you know, it's nice to dream. There definitely are some mods out there though that, you know, could definitely complement the vanilla game. Maybe not this one as much, but there are definitely mods out there. Yeah, I'm great. Thanks, Radio Club Off. Thanks for asking. I'll just have another drink of my tea. Okay, so let's see then. So what we want to do now is I want to see if we can actually add this cobblestone effect to the stairs. So let's see, because we've fully made these stairs now from a full block rather than using a stair, which it wouldn't allow us to do before. We can now, I'm just going to get rid of that. We can now chisel out individual bits like we were doing before on these stairs. So let's see how this looks. I don't know perhaps if this will work quite as well, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and let's try it again here and there. And then we'll go in here and do it like this. So yeah, I mean it looks kind of cool, I think. And then we'll get rid of that. I mean, the effect isn't quite as good as a full block, but yeah, I kind of like it actually. And let's do a few more and just see how it looks. So yeah, bonjour. Bonjour if you're watching from France. Apologies about my my French accent there. Whenever I go abroad, there's always someone that comments, you know, that I just sound completely Yorkshire, saying foreign words, and it just yeah, doesn't sound too great. But I do try, you know, I do try. But yeah, I mean, as you can see here, it's a little bit more difficult to work it on these stairs because it's obviously taking away, you know, 2 different shades, because the corner of the texture has, you know, 2 different shades on some parts of it. So it's a little bit difficult. Excuse me, it's a little bit more difficult. But I'm just gonna like I did last time, I'm just going to be quite, not quite as liberal with the blocks I take away this time, and see if that helps. I'll just undo that there. So, okay. I mean, even that, just because, you know, even with not doing it quite as liberally, it still works. For the cobblestone texture, at least, anyway. I mean, it still gives it that kind of rough look that you would kind of expect from cobblestone, and obviously the texture is quite a rough looking texture anyway. So yeah, I think that still works. I think that's looking pretty cool, to be honest. I'm really liking that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember my my French here. Let's see. I know what you're asking me. You're asking me how I am. But I'm just trying to think how I respond to that. We could be here quite some time. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in this just because. Okay, there we go. Ah, there we go. Okay. Lovely. Yeah, I knew what he was saying. Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could remember how to respond to that. But yeah, I'm great. Thanks again for asking. Ah, yes, that's it. Yeah, cool. It's coming back to me now. I do know a few bits in French. I I'm probably gonna mess up here, but j'habite Yorkshire. I believe that's I'm from Yorkshire. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we've pretty much done this whole house, and like I said earlier on in the stream, we want to do the whole village, really. So this looks like a pretty big task here, but it can be done fairly quickly. As you can see, as you've seen before, we can actually copy the blocks, and even with these stairs here. Let's have a look. And I told you that my French wasn't great. So I'm just gonna have a look here and get another one of these chisel designs here. So this time we've got a positive chisel design. I think this is the one we need here. So I'm gonna right click on that there, and that's actually copied that whole design there. So with the positive chisel design, what we can do is let's see. Yeah, my accent is terrible, isn't it? Yeah. I apologize for that, but you know, I'm not learning French at the moment, so you know, maybe if I move over there, then I'll improve. But for now, I'm gonna stick with my Yorkshire French. I don't know what you would call that, but okay. If you want to go, see you later. So we're going to change this here to, by default, it is on a, I believe it's on, let's see. Ah, okay. So it doesn't say. But what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to change back into creative mode. And then we're going to change this to placement. So what we can do here is we'll break this, oops. We'll break the stair first of all, and we'll just stick that back down, and then we can literally just place it down like that, which is pretty damn cool. if you ask me. So there's that, and then what we can do is we can just continue on here and just kind of boom. And then we can go down here. Same again. Same again. I hope you're going to like your new stairs, mate. Seriously. Check these bad boys out. Look at how smooth they are. You just glide right up them. Oh, you're just going to go up there instead. Okay. And you're going to close the door in my face. That's very nice of you. That's very nice of you. You know that. You know, I gave you a torch in here earlier because it was too dark. But, you know, some people just don't appreciate that. I'll see you later. Okay, so I don't think we've got any more stairs to place down. Let's have a look in here. Oh, yeah, we've got a few here. So we're going to do this and this and this. And then this and this. So look at that. I mean, that really adds to this kind of area. Looks real cool. Looks real cool. I'm not gonna kill a villager. I'm not gonna kill a villager like that. We might have a bit of fisticuffs if he gives me any more grief. I'm just gonna have to. Oh, where's he gone? There we go. We might have some fisticuffs if oh, I just broke you all, mate. But if you know, if you continue like you are, you know, we might end up sort of clashing here. So, you know, you watch it. You watch it. Okay. So, let's go back up here, and what we're going to do now is we'll go back into our survival inventory. And in fact, what we're going to do is we're going to leave these negative chisel designs, and we're going to get another positive one. So I believe what you can do is you can right click here, and because we've got like two sides of that block done now, what we can actually do is now we can go over here and we can go boom, and that's done both the sides there, and again and again and again, and boom. So we can just continue doing that. We can do it everywhere. And there we go. Let's see how it looks from the inside. Let's see if it's kind of messed anything up. But no, looks good to me. Ooh, that's one thing I wanted to try. I wanted to see if you could do it on bookcases. That would be pretty cool. That would be very cool. Let's try it. Let's just try it right now. Ooh, ooh, you can. What actually happened there, though? It looked like something changed. Let's undo that. Oh, right, okay. So it adds in. It's like... It's kind of like it's changing into a plank. A wooden plank. Let's see what happens if we do some more. And then like that. No, okay. Was it because I went over the edge? Possibly. Tell you what we'll do is we'll undo this here. And we'll get a bookcase. Or a bookshelf. And we'll put it down. We'll put it down right here. And let's see what happens. Ah, okay, so I get it. Yeah, they have connected textures if you place one next to the other. I see. So see how that line disappears in between them. I've not noticed that before now, actually. But yeah, so they connect together, and once you start chiseling them, I guess that it disconnects them in terms of the texture. So you can only kind of go like this. But it looks pretty cool. It still looks really cool. I mean, I feel like what we could do as well is, because it's a bookcase, we could go in like too deep. I mean, that still looks pretty cool. Awesome. Nice. Look at that. That looks sweet. Nice. Yeah, I really like that. Now, I guess what we can do as well is... just clear this stuff up. And get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, and then we will... I think I've got the wrong one. Yeah, there we need a negative one. So there we go. And then we can just go in like this. Boom, 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 boom. Nice. I think that looks pretty damn cool. Let's get a torch. Light it up. Yeah. What do you think? I think that looks really cool, even though the textures don't join up anymore. I still think it looks pretty cool. I mean, I suppose what we could do as well is we could kind of chisel away these end bits, so it looked a bit more like it was joined together, maybe. No, I don't think it works quite so well like that, but overall, still think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, definitely add some realism in there. Okay, sweet. So I got kind of distracted there by the bookcase. So what we're going to continue on doing here is we will see if we can get the right pattern on here, and we will continue on. Just filling all these in. And I forget I'm in creative. So we can fly. And we'll come down here. Nice. And then we'll get the one for the wood. I don't think it's that one. It's difficult to tell which one is which. No, it's not that one. It must be this one then. No? Huh. Did I delete the one for the wood? I think I might have done. Oh, it must be... I think it's... So you can kind of see the patterns. If I hold shift there, you can kind of see which is which. It must be this one here. So, like that. There we go. Nice. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, I'm just trying to find the one with the cobble on. I think it's that one. There we go. Getting caught on something here. Nice. And we'll do some more wood here. Sweet. There we go. So, look at this. Super duper chiseled. For the roof, I should try do it flat. What do you mean by flat? Do you mean flat like this roof? Or do you mean, you know, kind of smooth it out a little bit so it's kind of like these stairs go... Oh, I see what you mean now. I see what you mean. Ah, okay. Yeah, we could actually try that. I think that could work. I think that could work. Let's do that. Awesome. Awesome suggestion. Yeah, I wasn't actually thinking of doing that, but that works. Okay, and we'll just do the last few here, just down at the bottom, just for that added touch. And we haven't done the floor textures, have we? We'll come back to that though. Nice. Lovely stuff. In terms of what you can do with glass, yes, you can actually do the glass. You can kind of retexture it, and we'll come to that very shortly. There's actually another mod included with this that lets you combine all sorts of different plain blocks. I think I mentioned this right at the start, but you've got all these plain blocks here, and some of them are glass blocks, I believe, as well. So let's see if I can find one. Like, some of them are glowing as well. So if I take this and I go time set night, I believe they should light up. Boom, there you go. So you can create light sources as well using the bits. So you can actually chisel this away, and you can see the brightness is actually gone. But if you go into the options menu, I believe you can actually change it. So if I go into mod options and then I go onto chisels and bits here and balance settings, you see here you've got percentage of blocks for max light level. Let's see what else. I believe if you change this value, let's see. If I change that to 0, then... Oh, it's not lit up. Okay. So I'm not fully sure how that exactly works, but you can make... I believe you can make little tiny bit-shaped light sources as well as glass. And I was going to actually show you some glass right now just before we do the roof. Let's see. If I go onto flat colored blocks, in fact it might be easier if I show you how to do it in survival. So in survival what you would do is you would make this. It's called a colored block crafter. And then what you would do is you get some glass. So I'll get some glass here, and then you would get some dye, So I'm not sure if, let's see, if you just go with white it would do it as clear, I think, but we'll see. So you right click on that and you can see here I've got these transparent white blocks now. So then we can bring this down here and you see how that's almost, it does still have a slight texture to it, but it's almost textureless, and you can do that with any color. And as you saw there, there's like oh, it's used up all my dye. Let's get some more. So bone meal here. So as you can see there, there's 3 different kinds of these blocks, and it's not actually what's going on here. There we go. So we got that one, and is that the same? 1228, 1289, 1287. So there's 3 different kinds here. So this is just out of one color. You can get this, this, and this. I'm not really seeing much of a difference, to be honest. It's the first time I've really looked at these, but I'm not seeing much of a difference. And then obviously what you can do is you can go in with the chisel and you can chisel it away, and you can chisel it away, and then there you go. So you've got like a glass pane there, and then you can chisel away, say, that bit and this bit, and then like this, and then again like this, and you've kind of got like a little floating glass pane. And then you could put some like edging around that if you wanted to. You could get, say, I don't know, a quartz bit. I don't know which one you'd use, maybe a block of quartz, and then you could go in here, put that in as a line, and then you could go like so. Oops. And then you could go, let's see if I can get this. There we go. So right click there, and then I can just put this edging around it like so. And that's the wrong one. It's a little bit fiddly to get used to, but it's really cool what you can actually do with it. Okay, cool. I'll see you shortly. I should still be streaming at that time, so I'll catch you in a bit, Hexagonian. Oh, okay, cool. And I'll see you later, Jeffrey, as well. Thanks for joining me. So, yeah, like I was saying, you can kind of go in here like so, and there we go. And then we can go here as well, and that's wrong. I'm not sure how you would get it to go the other way, but there we go. And there we go. Sweet. There you go. So you've got like a nice little box window frame there. That's sweet. I really like that. And then if you go in here, what you could potentially do is you could add a bit more depth to this as well. So you could actually get another line. This is two bits wide right now. So we could go back in like this and add some more. Oops. And then like so, and like so. And that looks so cool. I love that. Oh, this is going to be so good when you actually get into properly building stuff. Yeah, that looks great. I love it. Okay, so let's crack on with this roof here and see if we can actually make this flat. Or at least as close to flat as we can get in Minecraft. So, we'll get rid of this and we will get some wooden planks down. There we go. And then we'll stick these down there and come in with the chisel like so. First of all, what we want to do is we want to get rid of, I think, a half size cube. So it's just flush like that. So it looks exactly like a normal stair. And then what I want to do actually is I want to get these wooden plank bits. And then what we want to do is we want to place down, I think, some slightly larger ones. So let's just have a look here. Let's just work this out. So if I get an eighth or a quarter in fact, I get rid of that. And then I get rid of that like that. And then I can go in with these single bits like this. And then we can go... No, in fact, we want to go in with slightly bigger bits. So let's say a small cube, perhaps. I think that might be a bit too big, actually. Let's try it. Oh, no. It's looking pretty cool, actually. There we go, so you've got even more sort of depth to it like that. That's nice. That looks cool. Okay, and let's see if we can do that again. Go. Okay. And it's just a bit difficult to place in the very first one, but I think if you do it front on like this. There we go. Sweet. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. So let's see if we can copy that then. So let's get chisel. Let's go for a positive one. And we'll take that and right click. And then we can go in here now. And we can go replace. No. Additive. It doesn't work because we've already got the stairs there. It won't affect the stairs. So I'll have to delete these. Like so. And it looks like we're actually getting a little bit of lag here when I'm destroying blocks, which is a bit strange. Okay, so if we go in then with this design, this pattern, and we go on placement, boom, 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 boom. And there we go. That's looking pretty cool, but there's a little bit of a hitch at the top here. Where you could do with probably an extra bit, an extra length of bits there. I see what I did wrong. Okay, yeah, cool. So if I go back in here. And let's see. Okay. So that's actually going to take me outside of the block space, but I believe you can actually do that. Let's see, I'll have to get on here so we can shift. You can't actually get anything in that space. Oh, so you can actually, yeah. Okay, so let's just have a play here. Let's see what we can do. So it kind of needs an extra bit that's not within either of those two block spaces. So I think what would be best to use here is a line, I think. So if we go one, nope. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. Nice. That's it. So what we should do then is we get rid of one of these and make a pattern of that. So then what we can do then is go along here. And we want to put that on placement. And let's see if we can actually place this down here. I think we might have to just rotate it. So if we shift and mouse wheel, there we go. Nice. Huh. That looks so awesome. I'm just trying to see though. It looks like something looks a bit weird when you kind of fly out like this. Doesn't look fully straight, or maybe that's just my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to try this again actually. I'm just going to try it down. Just going to try it down on the ground here, and I'm actually going to try and see if I can do the whole thing within one block space to see if that looks any neater. So if we get over into place where I can see what I'm doing. So if we go over here, and then we'll start with the we'll start with the quarter size, like so, and then I think we'll go straight in with the 1/8 size then, and then we can go like this. Like that. Okay. And then that can be the first little step. Like that. And then like that. I wonder if this is going to work. Let's see. And then oh, nice. So yeah, it does work. Kind of looks the same as what I did before though. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but we're gonna save that and then we'll go over here and see how that fits. So we'll go on placement, and then we will rotate. Ah, okay. So yeah, the same thing seems to be happening again. So you kind of need that extra little... Oh no, oh no, 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 no. So if you go in here, and then we'll get rid of all of these. Like that. And then we'll get rid of these guys as well. Just going to turn that off because it's a bit difficult to see. And then, yeah, cool. So we can go in with this, like this. Looks pretty cool, I think. Nice. And we'll do this side as well. I seem to be getting a little bit of lag again while I'm destroying these. So let's just see here. Let's see what's happening. So if we go on F3 and is it Alt? There we go. Okay, so we'll do this. Oh. Yeah, so we're getting some massive spikes when I'm when I'm destroying those blocks there. It's a bit weird. Must be something to do with this mod, I reckon. But I mean, to be honest, in fairness, apart from that, it seems to be running pretty flawlessly. Nice. Look at that. Compared to that. I do wonder if you can actually turn this upside down. This. I don't think you can. No, you can't. So I'd have to do it the other way around. Okay, nice. Nice. Yeah, just looks so cool. So what I want to have a go at doing now as well is do some furniture in here. Just gonna have a quick drink. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we can get back the wood. Yep, there we go. That's the wood right there. We'll just finish these guys off in here. Okay. Here we go. And there we go. Cool. A few more to do. Okay. Nice. I think we've done almost everywhere in here, so let's see what else. We'll do the cobblestone as well. There we go. I think we've got everywhere in here. There as well. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna have a quick go at doing some furniture in here as well, and I think we're gonna have a go at a crafting table, because you can actually chisel out a crafting table as well. But I'm just gonna have a very quick stretch, so bear with me one moment. Okay, so we've got new batteries in the headphones, and yeah, so let's have a look. Let's see what we can make here. Have you got any suggestions for what we can make in terms of furniture? So obviously we can make a table and chairs, so let's do that to begin with. We'll actually fill in these blocks as well. Okay, cool. So we've got all our little patterns here. You can see how cool they look. Okay, cool. So I'll stick all this stuff up here for the time being. And then, okay, so let's get a wooden plank. Hi there, Jeffrey. Welcome back. Good to have you back with us. But yeah, we're gonna look at building a mansion. I was actually gonna go through this village and kind of do it all like this, with all the kind of 3D-ness going on. But I really wasn't expecting it actually to take this long. It's been nearly 2 hours, so I think I'm actually going to get cracking with the mansion fairly shortly, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. So we'll just have a bit of a play in here first of all and make a bit of furniture. So let's see then. So what do we want to make? So I think what we're going to do is we'll make just a chair, simple chair to start with, and the cool thing about this as well is that you can mix different kinds of block within the same block space. So, excuse me. What we could do is we could actually get some oak wood here. In fact, not oak wood. We could get. Let's see. We'll go into the creative menu here. And not the flat coloured blocks, but we want this here. So we'll get that. And what we can do, excuse me, what we can do is, let's see if we can get a, we'll do a, how thick do we want the legs to be? We can do, and it's raining. Lovely. So, I'm just going to turn that off. And then we can go in with the legs like so. Oops. And I think it might actually work better if we do a line here. Nope. Okay, so in fact, let's undo this. And then we'll go like this. So we've got the oak wood, and you can see how I've kind of inset it a little bit there. So we'll go into here. And then we'll have to find the edge of the block again. So let's just put that there, just so we can see what we're doing here. Then we'll go 2 more in. So 2, 1, 2. And we're going to do this side because I'm going to get stuck otherwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, let's see. So I'm actually going to get rid of these because I think I put them in the wrong place actually. There we go, and get rid of those ones. We'll just find the 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nope, 4. There we go. And single bits. There we go. Cool. So I'll get rid of this guy. And, oh look, we've missed some here. So we'll go back in here with the lines. 1 and 2. So there we go. And, okay, so how do we want to do this? Okay, so I think personally those legs probably a bit too long for a chair, if you're looking at it. So we're going to take those down a bit. I think down a little bit more. Something like that maybe. Yeah, possibly like that. I think let's try one more. Yeah, I think that's good. And then what we can do is we can go in with the oak wood planks now. And we can kind of make a top for the chair. So how are we going to do this? Let's see. So I think I want to do... Let's do it like this. Like this. And in fact, no, not like this. And like... That's really blending in there. It's kind of throwing me. So yeah, we're going to go like that. Like that and like that. And then we're going to do the same over here. And the same over here. And then... okay, I've done those too far. So we want to go... What have I done there? I've gone 1 bit in from the edge. So we'll go a bit in here. Hopefully you guys can see what we're doing here. And then we'll go a bit in here. And then it's got a bit of overhang there. So we're going to go and chisel those little bits away. Do I play other games apart from Minecraft? Yes, yes I do. Not very often, admittedly. I usually try and kind of only do a a few games at a time, really. I like to kind of really get into a game, and rather than hopping between a few. But I mean, recently, up until I started doing my YouTube videos, really. Now I'm almost playing Minecraft exclusively, but before I started doing my YouTube videos, I was doing quite a lot of Battlefield 4, and I was playing Fallout 4 as well, and those were the two sort of main other games that I was playing. I've tried a few other indie games here and there as well, like Limbo and Super Meat Boy. Those two, I really enjoy playing those, and I do play quite a lot of Rocket League, actually. I was thinking of maybe doing a bit of Rocket League on the channel, perhaps doing some kind of like a highlights compilation or something like that, like putting together all kind of my best moments, if you like, throughout maybe like a couple of week period, because sometimes when I'm playing Rocket League, you just get those. I don't know if you've played Rocket League, by the way. But you get some absolutely awesome goals, and yeah, they're definitely worth sharing. It's such an awesome moment when you get a good goal like that. Have any of you guys played Rocket League? And what I think we're going to do as well is we're going to go in here and get I think some red wool, and I think we'll get the red wool, and we shall, let's see, what shall we do here? Yeah, Rocket League is really good. You should give it a try sometime. It's yeah, I mean it's a game that I honestly never thought that I would really get into, but I mean I think it was on sale when I bought it. And after I'd played a few games, I was just immediately so addicted to it. It's such a fun little game. I mean, just think of it like FIFA, but with cars, and it's got much more of obviously a much more arcadey style to it, but it's got that kind of addictiveness like FIFA does, or like Pro Evo or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I think after about a week after I got it, I had both my my brothers round to my house, and they wanted to play a game, like some kind of, like, usually we'll play like something pretty old school, like PS1 classic games or something like that when we're together playing split screen or something like that. But when I've had my brothers over, I recommended we play Rocket League, and they were absolutely loving it. We were just screaming the house down. It was hilarious. It's a lot of good fun. So I'm going to actually put inside here a bit of red wool. See how that looks. I'm going to try using a line here and see if that helps us out. See if we can chisel these. Oh yes, it doesn't replace either. It doesn't replace what you've already put down. That's sweet. Yeah, I agree. When I first started playing Minecraft as well, I got that kind of, you know, addictiveness. And I did actually used to play that on split screen as well. I first started playing on an Xbox, and I used to play that split screen with my brother when we lived together. And yeah, it was super fun playing it on split screen. So yeah, that's looking pretty cool, actually. It actually looks more like a table now that I've built it than a chair, like I wanted it to be. But yeah, it looks kind of cool. I think maybe if we put a back on it, it might look a bit better. So let's see what we can do here. And the cool thing is as well is you can actually kind of build in between blocks. So I can go like halfway into this block. I don't have to go all the way up to the top. So I can delete these ones like that. Yeah, it does look like a stool, doesn't it? But no, I don't have any pets. Do you guys have any pets? Okay, and we'll do... Let's see. So maybe if we do like this, like this. And then, let's see here. Let's see if we can make this work. I'm going to get a bit lower down here. Oops. I wonder if I can undo that. No, I can't. That would have been cool. I think this is starting to take shape pretty nicely, I think. A dog, 3 rabbits, and my brother. Oh, okay. So Jeffrey and Hexagonian, you two are actually brothers. What do you guys think to this chair? I'm not 100% sold on it, I don't think, but it looks okay. I think maybe if the chair was a bit lower down, perhaps it might work better. Or if it was less wide. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. What do you guys think? Oh, it's too short, yeah. Okay, yeah, actually, good point. That could probably help. Oh, and it looks like we've got a bit here that I've just missed. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how high we can go here. Okay. I think that kind of height looks a bit better. Yeah, it definitely looks cool for a Minecraft chair, I agree. I've actually got another idea for the back here. Let's see if this works. This is going to be tough, but let's see how it works. It's actually really difficult to see what you're doing sometimes when you're working with blocks these small. I've been playing Minecraft now for good question. Since about probably the PC release 1.3, I think. So I don't know how long that has been. Let's see. Because I started playing on Xbox. I must have played on Xbox for about 6 months to a year before I switched over to PC, and it was only just sort of going to 1.4 when I started. So let's see, 1.3. 1.3 was released in 2012, so I imagine it was late 2012, I think. That so that's what's that? That's about 3. I cannot suddenly I just cannot do maths. So 4 years. 4 years. Thanks. I'm glad you think I'm a good builder. I've honestly never actually seen myself as much of a builder in Minecraft, to be honest. I always try and keep it quite simple, but recently I've been kind of getting into it a little bit more, and I don't know, it's just kind of yeah, I mean, I guess it's just kind of getting into the details a little bit better, and I don't know, I guess it just kind of comes naturally, I guess. So we'll just finish this off here. And then what we could do for the back is we'll get the red wool again. Okay, so you've been playing since 1.8 on the PC. Yeah, it is fairly new, but it's at the same time I think it's pretty amazing, to be honest with you, because when I was playing Minecraft back in the days of sort of 1.6 moving on to 1.7, I think myself and I think a few other people in the community as well kind of thought that Minecraft was kind of slowly fading away and kind of dying, if you like. But it doesn't seem to. It just doesn't seem to be kind of going anywhere. It just keeps getting more and more popular. If I'm honest, I keep seeing more new people playing it all the time, and especially with the mobile versions as well. The mobile edition it always seems to be, whenever I go on the App Store, it always seems to be, say, in the top 5. So. Yeah, I mean, obviously loads of people are downloading it and playing it on mobile as well. So there we go. I think that chair looks a bit better than what it did last time. It's got a nice little cushion on the back here. I mean, we could potentially even make the cushion like kind of 3D, potentially. Let's see. Let's get in with this detail here. So there we go. I don't know if that looks any good with the extra layer on there or not, to be honest. I think that might just be a bit overkill. What do you think? What do you guys think to the chair? It doesn't help that it kind of blends in a little bit with the oak wood behind it, but yeah, I think it looks quite cool. It actually looks quite nice and comfy, does that cushion actually? Just looking at it. I know how weird that sounds, but it does kind of look kind of comfy. Let's see what we can do down here. And let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. And let's see here. So how's this going to work? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to look like it's got a bit of a pillow, I think. I'm gonna do the same down here as well, just see how that looks. And then maybe do one in the oops. And then maybe do kind of one there as well. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. I wonder what it'd look like if we got rid of these. Like that. And then put it back. Oops. And then we put that there. And we put that there. I think that looks kind of cool actually. It does actually look, it looks really kind of 3D. It looks really detailed. So what I'm thinking now is we could potentially build a house. Maybe. Not a house, sorry. A table. A table. Let's see if we can build a table. Okay. So what do we want to make our table out of? I think we should carry on with the oak wood planks for now. And the cool thing is about this mod as well is what we could potentially do is we can actually build the table so it starts over the chairs. And we can actually build it so it looks like the chairs are kind of tucked in, if that makes sense. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So let's have a look here. Let's put a block there just for guidance, and then we can go like, oh, and I don't know if I mentioned to you guys as well, one thing that you can do which is pretty crazy, if I'm honest, is you can actually, let's see what I can demonstrate this with. Just bear with me 1 second. If I get say my staircase here that I did, this one, and you can see how if I put it down on, I'm going to go over here so you can see. So if you can see here how it's just in normal place down mode, and it's just kind of snapping to the grid all over the place. And I can hold down shift and I can rotate that, and that's all good, and it's snapping to the grid. But you may have noticed just there, if I hold down shift, you can actually place this. You see how you can actually place this anywhere you want. So I can place it in the middle of some blocks if I want, which is real cool. Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but see how I can place that down right in the middle of all those blocks there, which I think is pretty nifty. And you can see there, if I actually remove that block there, it kind of just removes a bit of it, like so. Ah, you think I should take out the 3D layer of the chair? Let's go have another look. I'll be honest with you, I kind of like it like that. Yeah. We'll see how we get on. I think we're gonna build the table now, and see how that looks. So let's have a look here. Just trying to find the middle. I think that's the middle there. There we go. Cool. So we can kind of come in and use these as guidance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just trying to make sure this is equal on both sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll get rid of that. Cool. So we've got a little bit of floating wood there, and let's do a bit more. So change this to a single bit. And we'll do that. Do I practice any sports? To be honest, no. I don't really do any sports. Yeah. Nothing at all, really. I'm just trying to think what I have done, but I've never really been a big sporting guy, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, I do go to the gym every now and again, but that's about the most kind of active thing I do, I guess. What about you guys? Do you guys do any sports? Okay, so I'm just going to see about... Not sure how big to make this table, but let's see. Nice, okay. Sweet. And then we can go back in with the oak wood planks, or the oak wood logs, sorry. And where are we going to put the legs here? So it might be a bit close there. So if we go maybe here, and here, if we do it maybe like that. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then in like on this row. Maybe like that. Maybe get rid of... No. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Then maybe put one in there. And then maybe like that. Like that. And then like that. Maybe? Yeah, I think that looks kind of cool. Yeah, well, it's better than doing nothing, you know. Like when I don't go to the gym, I mean, admittedly, I don't really go to the gym anymore, to be honest. I used to go all the time, but now more or less I just do the same, really. I mean, just bodyweight exercises at home, and you know, just keeping it simple, really. So let's see here now. We'll get the line on the go again, and then see it's difficult to see when you're working with these small pixel. Excuse me. When you're working with these small pixels, it's kind of difficult to see the distance between everything. So that leg is 4 from the edge is 4 from the edge of the leg. So I'm just trying to work out where the edge of the table is going to go here. So it's 4 in. So 1, 2, 3. No, it didn't mean to do that. So we're going to go with single bits just for a marker. 1, not like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the edge of the table needs to be in line with that. Okay. Oh, so you like the look of the table? I'm not entirely sold on it myself as of yet, but let's see what it looks like when we get it finished. So I'm having a total mind blank right now. So let's see if we can put in a guide or something like that to help us out. Okay, so let's get some large cubes. And then if we go and add in 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Get rid of that one. I'm just trying to get something so I can place these lines down. There we go. Awesome. So I think that's the full edge of the table there. And then we'll get rid of this large cube here. There we go. And then we'll get rid of these single bits. Okay. And then we'll get these lines on the go again. So let's work this out. Like that. Yep. And then it was like that, and like that. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there. Yep. And then there. There we go. Looks alright, I think, actually. Not too shabby. What do you think? Gonna have a bit of a play around here and see what else we can do. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So get rid of that one. Put an oak wood plank back in there. So then we'll put in a little placemat. Maybe a little bit bigger. Like so. Maybe I could put a flower pot on it. Yeah, I definitely could put a flower pot on it. Let's see if we can make one of those out of the micro blocks. But what I want to do is let's try this. Let's see what this looks like. If we find, say, an iron block like this, and then we can put in like this and like this. So like a knife and fork maybe? I don't know. So let's see if we can put a flower pot on it. Do you mean like a vanilla flower pot? Like this? I don't know if that'll actually go on it. Because I think basically that piece there of the table is actually, it's slightly higher. It's slightly into the next block height. So you can't put anything on top of it. So if you see, just to demonstrate that, if I put this down here, oh, actually, no, in fact, it is at the right height, so we can put a flower pot on it. Or we should be able to. It's not letting me, though, for some reason. Not sure why that is. Am I doing the wrong thing here? I don't really use these flower pots that much. Yeah, I don't think the villagers eat, do they? But yeah. Let's see. I just wanted to see how it looked, really. Let's put another bit in here, like that. That's kind of cool. Maybe if they wanted to eat, then at least they could do. Maybe they don't eat because they haven't got the facilities to do so. Because I haven't seen any knives and forks around here. Yeah, for some reason it won't let me place down the flower pot on top of there. That's weird. Because it's at the right height. I would have thought that you could, but I tell you what we'll do is we'll make our own. We'll make our own. So let's see. So what we could do is we could get some clay. In fact, we need to go on here, don't we? So we'll go clay, and then we'll go. What is the right one? Let's say hardened clay, and then we can go like this. And let's see. So do a large cube. Like that. And let's see how big that is in comparison. It's about the same size. I think it's a little bit bigger, to be honest. But we can chisel it down. And it's actually a bit of a different colour. So let's see. Let's see if we can get a better colour. Clay. Orange. Let's try orange. I tell you what might look cool though. if we did it out of, if we did it like a vase, so if we did it out of glass, that might look cool. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, actually that looks a bit weird. Okay, let's try something else. Let's see if the white stained glass looks any different. Okay, that looks a bit better. So let's see here. So if we get the chisel, and then we go in here, then we go to single bit, and we can take out the middle. Okay, and then yeah, you could yeah, we could definitely try and make a cup as well. Let's see how this goes. Okay, and just trying to work out what I've done here. Okay, so let's see here. That looks pretty cool so far. And you remember how I said at the start you could use water? Let's give that a try. So I'll put a bit of water in there, in a single bit. Like so. There we go. That looks super cool. And we'll put a little bit more in. And then what we could do then is let's see what else we can use here. So let's see. Could we use just looking for something a bit green. Let's see. I wonder what oak leaves is going to be like. Let's see. So, okay. Looks pretty cool. That works pretty nicely actually. And then we can kind of go out like this. And not sure actually, it looks a bit dead to be honest. Let's see. And then let's see what else. Let's see. Yellow, something yellow. Tell you what we could do is we could use some of these. This is orange. Yellow, here we go. So there's all these different types of yellows, which is pretty crazy. So we'll go with a light yellow to start with. And we'll kind of go something like this. That doesn't look too bad actually. So let's find another yellow just to mix it up a bit. Let's go with a slightly darker yellow. And then just kind of put that in. So it kind of makes it look a bit more shaded, I guess would be the word. And then maybe go in with, say, another yellow. Something a bit lighter. Yeah, it definitely does look a bit like a cactus, doesn't it? I'm kind of thinking of like a, do you know, like a tulip? I think it kind of looks a bit like a tulip. Maybe if we got rid of these. No, that looks a bit too, oops. That looks a bit too straight, doesn't it? Maybe if we kind of, where are the leaves? There we go, we'll take the leaves. And then if we go like, kind of like maybe like that, so it's a bit like a kind of bendy. It looks kind of cool, doesn't it? It looks kind of cool with the water in the bottom as well. It looks kind of cool. And then maybe we could kind of chisel away these corners at the bottom as well. And then this rain is giving me a bit of frame rate lag, so we'll turn the rain off. In fact, we'll turn it off for a long time. So weather clear. There we go. Awesome. So we've done a table, we've done a chair, we've done a placemat, we've done some knives and forks, and we've done a flower in a vase. Awesome. So I'm thinking now maybe we could move on to doing the mansion. I think we've had enough practice now, I think. And yeah. Oh yeah, you actually mentioned you wanted to see like a cup, didn't you? So how about if we do a cup like this? So we get some glass, and what if we do? Let's see if we do. Something like this, and yeah, okay, like this. What have I done wrong here? Okay, so we need to go up like that. That's what I did wrong. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. This is pretty difficult to do in this spot, but let's see if we can make this work. And then what can we put in the glass? Put a bit of water in it. undo that. There we go. What do you think to the glass? I don't think that's too bad. It's kind of like a wine glass. Just seeing if there's any way that we can improve it. That's kind of cool. Nice. Okay, sweet. So I think that's that. And yeah, I wanted to, just before we go over there and start looking at doing the house, I wanted to kind of just play with this and just see really how we could shape this. Because it has these tools on it, and it looks really cool when you kind of cut it out. Let's see. Looks pretty cool, I think. And then we could go. Let's get the crafting table on the go. There we go. Then we could kind of cover it up a bit, like this maybe. It's not too bad. Something like that anyway. Oh, cool! Thanks. I'm glad. I'm glad you like the cup. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it actually. But yeah, I think we're just gonna leave this. We'll leave the crafting bench as it is, and let's head over here and just have a look at the. Let's have a look at what we were gonna do over here. I don't really have a design in mind for this, to be honest with you. I was just gonna kind of freestyle it, I guess, if you want to put it like that. But what I wanted to show here as well on this stream as well is another item within this mod, which is pretty cool. Over here on the right, you can see a tape measure. So you can get this tape measure, and where's it gone? There we go. So we've got a tape measure, and I've not actually used this before, but I think what you can do is you can sort of right click it, and then okay, that's not done anything. So let's see. Okay, so if you hold Alt and you comes onto this menu, you can give it a color. So let's just say orange, and then we can go block, distance, or bit. So what I want to do here is measure blocks. So we'll go here, and then if you right click, and then now let's undo that. So if I put a block down here, and then let's say, I mean, I have no idea how big I want to build this thing. I wanted to build it pretty big, if I'm honest with you, but I'm not sure how big. So maybe if we go like here, and then let's just go pretty randomly. Let's actually fly up and see. So I'm thinking probably around this kind of area over here. So what you can do here with the tape measure is I can click on that, In fact, I can, if I hold down, I think if you hold down, yep, if you hold down, you can kind of pull out the tape measure and it measures. So you can see this area is 39 blocks by 21 blocks, which is awesome, I think. And then you can even do a height as well. So see how it says 1 there. If I build up a few like this, and then if I go, let's say, probably be about that high. And then if we kind of go back over here, and then you hold down on the right click, and then keep it held down, and then put it over here, and then boom. So you've got 21 by 39, and then it's 7 blocks high, which is cool, I think. And then you can kind of visualize it. Kind of gives you the like a wireframe of how big it's going to be, so you can kind of visualize it, which is again pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how big I want this thing to be, to be honest. Let's see. I mean, I quite like this size here. Quite like it. I think we'll make it maybe 1 block wider, and then yeah, 1 block wider and 1 block narrower. So we will go like, we'll go from this block here. So we'll get rid of that. Put another block there. Then we'll go from here. And then I'm not sure how tall it's going to be yet, but we'll just stick it up there for now. So it's going to be, oh, there's loads going on here. I'm going to have to clear one of these. Okay, it clears them all. So we're going to go like that. And then like that. So there we go. 39 by, in fact, I didn't make it wider, did I? So we'll go like that, and like that. And then what we can do is we can literally just leave that there while we build here, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool, I think. So I'm going to hang on to some of these, but I'm going to get rid of everything else. I'll leave the tape measure. So we'll get rid of everything in our inventory here. And what do you guys think? What do you think we should make the main walls on this house out of? Personally, I was thinking of using the red brick, because I've never really used that before in a big build. This brick here, and I think it looks pretty nice. It's gonna look pretty nice for a manor house, I think. What do you reckon? Yeah, I'm thinking that. Yeah, that's gonna look real nice, I think. Spruce wood. Okay, do you mean sort of... I think maybe we could use spruce wood for the floors inside. I think that would look really nice as a floor. See, that goes real nice. That goes real nice with the bricks. And then, yeah, I mean, we could maybe work the oak logs in somewhere. But I'm really liking this combination, actually. Whereabouts would you put the oak logs? On, say, on the corners like this? Like this? Oops. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, actually, I will say. Yeah. Okay. Bricks and hardened clay. Okay. I wonder where I don't know whereabouts I could use hardened clay, to be honest with you. Whereabouts would you put the hardened clay? Just remember what we can do with this as well is we can go in with the chisel and we can chisel this stuff out. And it'll look super cool. That looks pretty cool. Looks cool, does that? But what we can also do as well is we can just do this. And we can inset it. And that looks real nice with the logs. Or you could even do... You could even do it the opposite way around, so you could inset this instead. Nice. You think spruce planks for the walls? Okay. Let's see. Oh, I already had that there. So, okay. So like this. I'm just trying to think what to do with the hardened clay as well, and whether we can actually do anything with that. I don't think the hardened clay is going to work for... Remember, we're trying to build a mansion here, so it's got to look kind of... I think the bricks are going to be perfect for that, to be honest. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to take a 2-minute break here, and I'm just going to look a couple of things up, and I will be back with you in a couple of moments. Okay then, and we are back, so let's continue here. And let's look at seeing if we can get started on this mansion here. Okay, so we're just going to extend this out here. I'm not 100% sure on the size of this as of yet, but we'll just kind of put this down here and see how we get on. We might end up kind of expanding it or contracting it as we get further into the build. But yeah, let's see how this goes here. And what I'm intending on doing as well is kind of using the chisel to kind of chisel out the textures as well to put a load more detail into this build and just make it a bit of a you know, really focused around the chisels and bits mod. And we'll see how we get on there. This outline here is really cool though. It's really really kind of helpful to when you're building something, especially in creative. Yeah, it really helps you kind of mark off an area and just see what you're looking at. So yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I think what we're going to do to start with is we're going to start on a kind of porch area. And now that I've said that, I actually think that I want to move this back a bit further, because I do want the porch to be quite a bit deeper. And what I'd kind of like to do is put a bit of a kind of a driveway coming up to the house, as opposed to just having this path here. So I think what I'll do is, let's see, let's take this back by possibly about 2 or 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and I'll tell you what, we'll get the tape measure out again. And we'll bring this over here and go over to there. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. I think that's going to work, potentially. I've kind of got a picture of something that I want to look at building here. And yeah, I'm just trying to gauge kind of how big I want that to be. So I think we're going to go back. I think we're going to go back a couple more, actually. So we'll go back to here. Like this. And then we'll get rid of this little bit here. And I'll get rid of all these guys, actually. And we'll bring this right back. Right back to here. Like so. Okay, and then what I want to do is find the middle point. So the middle is about there. And that is where the main doorway is going to be. So we'll get some grass and just fill that back in there. Okay. Cool. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to have, excuse me, we're going to have the main doorway actually up on top of these blocks. So just so we've got an idea of perspective. Not sure what doors we're going to go with in the end, but we'll just plonk these here for now. And they're not going the right way around, are they? So we'll just place this in like so, like that. And just so we've got an idea of what we're looking at, I've done that off center, haven't I? So we're going to go there and get rid of these guys and put them in. Go there. Okay, so that's in the center. And let's have a look. Okay. So, like I say, I want the main bit to be kind of raised up here. And I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to use a bit of quartz, actually. I think that's going to make a real nice kind of porch floor area. That is very bright, though. I haven't used quartz in quite a long time, so yeah, we might change this out, but let's just put it in for now. And we'll do that. And I think we're gonna go maybe about four out like that. And yeah, okay. So okay. I think that looks alright. And yeah, okay, so what I'd like to do though before we get into this too much is chisel out some of these, chisel out one of these blocks so that we've kind of got it as a template that we can use. So we're gonna plonk this down like so, and then we'll go in with the chisel And we'll change it to single bit. And then we'll chisel out some of this. Like this. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do the front face. This is going to be our sort of our wall block, if you like. And we'll just chisel this all out. And we'll undo that. There we go. Cool. So it just gives it a little bit more depth. Nice. Cool. Okay, so we'll go in here and we'll get the negative chisel design. And we will right click that there. And then we'll just take a thing of that, right click on that. And then what we can do is we can literally just transfer this over here like that. And that's looking, wow, yeah, that looks real nice, doesn't it? Sweet. Yeah, I like the look of that. Okay, cool. So I think what I want to do is ideally just work on the porch area to begin with. And I think what I'd like to do is, I believe you can get some, I think you can get quartz stairs, can't you? So we'll get those. And we'll save that there. And I'm going to go around like this. Like this. And let's see. We'll just go down the front like that. And possibly just put one on the edge like that. And then we'll go back in with a chisel with a normal quartz block there. And then what I want to do for this area here is kind of just fill it in. Have a nice little walkway going along. I'm not sure how long this is going to be. But we'll just do it like that for the time being. And then we'll go like this. Just so we've got an idea of what we're looking at, really. Just so I can get it kind of pictured in my mind. And then we'll go with the quartz pillars. And I think these are going to go, say, here, I think. Like so. And I think we want to have a few of these, actually. Yeah, so potentially like this and like this. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. And then the cool thing, what I was thinking of doing, we'll just set the time today. What I was thinking of doing with these is we can then kind of go in with the chisel. And we can set that to line. And we can just knock out a full line. Oops. I think I've gone wrong there. There, and there, and there, and there. And then we can, once again, go in with this pattern here. And we can copy this. Copy it all around. So that you can fully see those ridges in the pillars. That looks so cool, actually. I wonder what it would look like if we kind of if we went in and maybe rounded off the corners a bit, so it was more like, I don't know. So if it was more like this maybe, and like that, got rid of. Let's see. So like that one as well. Maybe I'm no good at no good at circles in Minecraft, to be honest. But let's see. Maybe that, and then like that. That looks a bit better, actually. Let's see if we can go in one more, like that, and then knock that one off as well, and knock that one off. So where's the center? The center is there. So I'm gonna knock it off again, like that. And then these two are the center ones, right? I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the center ones here. I tell you what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get rid of that, and then we can go. We can see clearly where the center is now, so we can go like that, like that. This is going to take a while. And then we can go in like this. Oops, done wrong there. And then we can go like, maybe like this. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on a circle generator here. Okay, so the block is 16 wide, isn't it? So it's 16. Okay, so we'll get rid of that, and then we'll go. So it needs to be 5 across the middle. 1, 2, 3. In fact, 6. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 there. So if we get rid of that one, then we get rid of that one, then we get rid of that one, then that one, then that one, then that one. Yeah, okay. I don't mind that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1. 1 and then 1, 2. That's easy enough. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure if I liked it the other way, how I did it before. In fact, let's just do it. This is not going to take long, so let's see what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And ding, ding, ding. And then what we'll do is we will take one of these guys, and then we'll go click that. Then we can go on placement, and then we'll get rid of this guy and get rid of this guy and go boom, boom. Okay, that looks pretty cool. So it's a nice circle, but I feel like we could do better. What about... let's just try this again. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure which one I prefer. Okay, let's try one more variation on this. Okay, so we're going with the line again. And we want to go kind of straight across this time, so kind of like this. Let's see, that takes us to the same spot on that side, so it's going to be more like it's still going to be squarish. Yeah, I definitely don't think that is going to be an option, to be honest. I think probably this one. I do like the circle shape versus this one. Yeah, nice. That looks sweet, actually. They do look like... they almost look like a proper circle, even though they're still squared off. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Okay, so what I want to do now is have a go at doing some stairs out of the quartz. So, let's see. So the quartz texture, yeah, it's more or less the same. Let's see, there's a few more quartz blocks, so we'll just have a look at those. There's a chiseled quartz. Okay, so no, we won't be doing that. That could look pretty cool though, like if we chiseled that out. Like if we went in with the single bit. And then we kind of, okay, so if we go in here like this, like this, and then we go around like this. That is looking pretty impressive actually. Wow, yeah, I like that. And there we go, a bit more done there. That looks pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. I think there's more that we could do as well. But yeah, that looks so cool. Okay, I'm just gonna go grab a drink and I will be back very shortly. Welcome to the stream if you're just joining us. We are currently playing with the Chisels and Bits mod. We're looking to build a mansion using the chisels and bits. As you can see here, we've built up these columns, chiseled away some parts of them to create the circle effect, just using a 1 block space. And these bricks here, we've chiseled out the sort of the grouted area on the brick block, and it looks really cool. It gives it a really nice effect, I think. So yeah, we're just working on a kind of a porch area, and just seeing what we can do there with the chisel. So we're gonna have a look at seeing what we can do with these, seeing if we can make a nicer staircase. So let's see. Let us see. So we'll get the chisel here, and we'll go back to using a quarter-size cube, and we'll chisel away this bit so it looks exactly like a normal quartz stair. And then we'll, let's see, what did we use last time? I think I actually have a pattern here that we used before, and I believe it was this one. So let's see if we can apply that to the quartz. Ah, no, it saved itself in cobblestone. So I wonder if there is actually a way that we can mimic that we can change the material it's made of. Let's see. Additive, replace. No, it doesn't look like you can. Let's see if that does anything. No. That doesn't work. So maybe if we go as a negative. Right click to right click to chisel. I don't think you can copy these either, unfortunately. Mirror chisel design. No. Okay, never mind. We'll just do it again from scratch, and we'll just place this down so we've got it as a guide. So we'll get out the chisel, and we'll go back to the normal quartz block, and we'll go in and use the chisel again. We'll get on with a smaller cube like that, and like that. I think that's all we did, actually. Yeah, awesome. Okay, sweet. So we will then get another chisel design, and right click on that to copy it, and then we can use the placement function. We'll get rid of these guys, and then we'll go boom, 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 like so. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to make a corner style staircase at the end. Okay. How do we want to do that? Let's just take a look. In fact, I think I'm going to leave it like that. And what I'm going to do is get rid of these guys. And get this pattern. I think we might just do it like this instead. And then like that. Yeah, that works. That works nice, because then we can have a 2 block separation in between each, and they're all an equal distance apart. Look at that. That's gonna look sweet. Nice. Yeah, I love it. Sweet. Okay. And then I think what we'll do in the long run is we'll just run this out like so. And then we can have potentially a fence going along here of some description. Awesome. Okay. And I think I'm actually going to make a start on making this fence as well, just to see what we can do here. I'm pretty intrigued to see how we can make this work. So, I'm just trying to decide whether I should start making it kind of, whether I should start doing it kind of over at this side here, at this side of the block, or whether I should start it in the middle. I think I'm going to try starting it in the middle and just see how it goes. Oops. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, that's kind of cool. Just a little post there. And then... Okay, so... I think next what we'll do is we'll get some little bits, some little quartz bits. Like so. And then we'll come in with this on here. Like this. I think we'll make this too wide. Just trying to measure how far I am up here. Okay, so 1 and 2 from the bottom. I think that should work, and then we'll do it same from the top. Like that. And then we'll kind of run this out. And maybe if we do a line, this will be a bit quicker. There we go. Sweet. And then we've got... Let's just put a block here for comparison. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do 4 at the end here. 4 little bits. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that can be kind of one section of the fence. I think that works. So we'll go on 1 and 1, 2. Okay, so that's 3 up. So 1, 2, third one. Like that. And then we'll do a line to join it up. Whoa. Okay, I've done that totally wrong. In fact, what I should be able to do is I should just be able to go like this. Yep, there we go. And then we'll go like this. No, that's not going to work, so we'll go single. Like that. And yes, you're going to be able to jump over this fence. So, do we want that? Do we want to be able to jump over the fence? Do we want it to behave like a normal fence? Let's see. let's see how tall a normal fence actually looks, because I know it's kind of like 1.5 blocks high, isn't it? Okay. So yeah. No, we'll do it like this. We'll do it like this. Okay. So we'll get rid of that and bring this back. And then we will do this like okay. So possibly like this. And then let's just get rid of some of this stuff. And then we'll get a fence back. I want to just use this as kind of a guide, because normal oak wood fence looks kind of nice. I won't lie. Okay. So it's 2 blocks wide, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just thinking this looks a little bit flat, if you know what I mean, but I guess it's gonna kind of trying to emulate kind of painted metal bars here, in my mind anyway. So yeah, I think that's fine. So yeah, we'll continue as we are, and just for speed, we're actually gonna go with the lines like that, and then we'll have to just get rid of a bit at the top and the bottom. Like so. And then again over here. There we go. Alright, okay. So, what I want to do is kind of make a cross. Kind of like a... Yeah. We'll just build this in and see how it looks. You know what a cross looks like. Let's see whereabouts it meets in the middle, actually. That is my concern. Hopefully it will meet in the middle of the block. This is me being very hopeful though. And then we'll go across. Yep, that's perfectly in the middle there, but at the top it doesn't work so much. Okay. Let's just put them in and see whereabouts it does actually kind of meet the rest of the cross. And I'm going to get rid of this completely here so we can kind of position ourselves. Okay, so it meets there. So if I get rid of these, and then leave that one there, and then, okay, like that. So let's go back up. Definitely have to have a lot of patience if you're working with these blocks here. Okay, nice. So what can we do here in the middle? I was thinking maybe we could do like a circle. Well, what if we just kind of go like this? Doesn't look that great. I was kind of thinking we could do maybe like let's see how this looks. This might look alright. And like that. And then nope, not like that. Okay, that doesn't look too bad actually. I kind of like that. And then what I was thinking is we could maybe do another square inside. So kind of like, I don't know actually. This is kind of making it all kind of blend together. Maybe if we kind of undo, see how far we can undo here, and awesome, we can go all the way back. And then let's see actually about doing something like maybe like no, like this. And then yeah, I'm kind of liking that. So if we go like this and then like that, but then we get rid of these two. Or maybe even go further out, so go like this and then like this. Like that. Oh, hello there, Jeffrey. Welcome back. Sorry, I didn't see when your chat message popped up, to be honest. Were you saying kind of like where there's a gap, you like it better like that? Okay, so I'm going to carry on doing this. And then, let's see. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then I think if we do this as well. So it's going to go up there into that one. Yeah, so here. Yeah, cool, awesome, I agree. I definitely prefer it like this. So, there we go. And there we go, okay. Nice. Sweet. That looks pretty damn cool. Lovely stuff. So hopefully what I can do here is I can actually just copy this so I never have to do that again. Boom. And then boom. There we go. Fantastic. That is awesome. So I believe what we can do as well is we can get a mirror chisel. So we go right click on that, and then what we should be able to do here is just right click here. Maybe we have to get rid of some blocks first. So we'll get rid of that and that and that and that, and then I think what we can do is we can just go boom. Boom? No? So I'm not sure exactly how to use this mirrored chisel design, if I'm honest. I think if we just go with the standard positive, and then go right click on that, and then we can go placement, and then we can just rotate it. Boom. That's gonna look sweet. Yeah, I like that. Don't know if you guys can hear the music that well right now, but yeah, I really love this track in Minecraft. In fact, I'll turn it up a little bit so you can hear it. So I think what I can do as well is I can actually go with this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Scroll across to this, and then go additive. Actually extend that along like that. Nice. And then I'll just go in with this guy. And just placement. Bang. is looking real nice. I do like this. Not sure how long we're going to extend that along, but yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Awesome. Yeah, you wrote it correctly the first time. It's here H-E-A-R. Okay, cool. Is it missing something in the design? It looks like I've missed something. Yeah, I think I've done it slightly wrong, to be honest. But I'm gonna fix that, I think, in the next stream. But we'll just see how it looks for now. So if I rotate this guy, put it there, and put another one here. We'll get rid of that. Plonk that guy in there. And we'll get this guy like this. Oops, what have I just done there? Okay, cool. So, yeah, we're making some progress here. We're slowly sort of making progress on this porch area. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave it there for now for the stream. So I want to take a moment just to thank you so much for tuning in, everybody who's tuned in this evening. I really do appreciate that. Like you may have saw earlier on in my video that I posted when I announced this stream, that this is really the very first time that I've streamed Minecraft, or any game for that matter. So yeah, really appreciate you tuning in and appreciate the support, and really enjoyed sort of chatting to you about the game and you know, various different bits along the way. I've really enjoyed using this mod as well. It is just as awesome as I was expecting it to be, and I really can't wait to get back on and do a bit more of this. So like I said, I think I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm definitely going to be streaming again. I'm just going to check my calendar here, but let's see. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be streaming this mod again next Friday, around the same time, about 7:30 GMT UK time. But I may jump on and stream again, potentially if I have a bit of time on Sunday evening. So do check back on the channel, and you know, like I say, I may be streaming on Tuesday evening, or if you have a look on my channel page, there's a button on there where you can get notifications for my videos. If you click that, then I believe it actually will inform you if I actually go live and I'm streaming. So do that, or just check back on Sunday. Just to recap on what we've really done here. Like I said, we've done that bit. We've messed around with the glass. We've done all this crazy stuff and made this into super realistic cobblestone and wood building. We've gone crazy in here with the furniture, and yeah, this looks so cool actually, coming back to it now with the glass and the cup and the little cushion chair. Yeah, I'm really happy with that, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this mod. So, like I say, once again, I can't thank you enough for tuning in. I've been Lethal Bob, and I will catch you again in the next stream. One more thing I wanted to say before I do go is I will be posting up another episode of my 1.11 Let's Play series tomorrow at some point. So do check back on the channel if you would like to see that episode. And like I say, thank you very much once again for probably the third or the fourth time now. But, you know, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will catch you in the next video. Thanks again. See ya.